Welcome to ReThink Fabulous. I'm Natalie Shelton, and we are going to be doing a Valentine series the next few videos. So these are old videos that I posted over the last couple of years. They're kind of funny to look back on, but I hope you enjoy the DIYs. Also, if you haven't already, I would love for you to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and give this a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel to grow, and I hope that you enjoy this and the future Valentine DIYs. Good evening, everyone. This is Natalie with ReThink Fabulous. I wanted to hop on real quick and do, excuse the hair, it's a hot mess, and do a fun DIY with you tonight. I've had a lot of people interested and loving this candy cane heart that I made. And so I've had a lot of questions of people asking me how I made this. So I went back to the store. I got these on clearance, 18 cents, these candy canes. And I went back to the store. I knew I should have grabbed a bunch of them, but I didn't. And when I went back, they were all gone. So I'm going to show you with the small ones, but it's the exact same technique, and at least you'll be able to know how to do it. So next year, make sure you grab a bunch of these little candy canes. I'm going to keep my eyes open. You don't have to use these kind of candy canes. These are actually, oh my goodness, about the same size. These little tiny ones are almost the same size as the big ones. But you could use any two candy canes. The little tube candy canes that have the candies in them, like the M&Ms or that kind of stuff. You could totally use those and just make it a bigger heart. So anyway, I'm going to show you guys in a smaller version how to make this, okay? All right. And also, I had a couple of people ask me why this sign here was backwards and this sign wasn't. So everything's mirror image. And so this sign, actually in real life, I wrote it backwards so that you guys could read it straight on. This is, when I'm looking at it, it's normal, but to you guys, it's mirror image, so it's backwards. So that's why this looks normal and that doesn't. But anyway, remember to do this, and when you do, your name is entered in this bucket with all these names, and adding more and more names every single day, and we'll be doing a drawing as soon as we hit 1,000 followers, which we are super uber duper close to that. So I'm excited to do another drawing. So okay, let's get started. What you're going to need is 2 candy canes. Like this one here is the large candy canes, okay? And I want to put this somewhere where you guys can see it. Let's see. Okay, that way if people are just joining us, we'll be able to know what we're doing. So I'm going to show you how to do these. So you're going to take your 2 candy canes and you are going to hot glue them together. Okay, for you that are new, this is just a little fun trick. You add a little dab of glue and stick it in to hook to your other piece of glue. Oh, that one's not in all the way. We'll wait a second. Anyway, that way it doesn't fall out, but this one isn't in far enough. Okay, so I'm just putting some glue there, and then it's kind of a not a long process, kind of a waiting process here. You got to wait for that glue to dry really good, and then I'll show you. So I'm just gonna hold on a minute and let that glue dry, and I'll use the cold set on my little hair dryer. That'll help get the glue to dry. All right. Okay, once the glue starts to dry, it'll stick together, but you want to reinforce it really good with a lot of glue. So you're going to just take your glue gun and just put a nice amount of glue just right there in between the cracks, and so that it kind of goes over to the side of the candy cane and this side, kind of like putting a layer across where it connects, and then over across the candy cane. That way the plastic all kind of becomes one piece, okay? So we're going to do that to the front and let it dry real well. And do the same thing, go around where they join together, and then over up on the side a little bit, okay? We're just going to hold this together while it dries, okay? Now I can stick my other glue stick in. So a little dab of glue, you put it in, sticks to the other glue stick, and then that way it doesn't fall out when you're... It's one of my favorite tips because I hate when that glue stick falls out. All right. Hey, Chandra, thanks for joining. And Maureen. Heather, how are you? I see that you moved, dang it. And Charlotte, and I saw Charlotte has been busy making awesome sugar cookies. I saw on Facebook. Very talented, Charlotte. You could post those to the ReThink Fabulous Crafters group. Guys, if you are not a member of the ReThink Fabulous Crafters group, that's a place where you can share all your crafts that you're doing. We'd love for you to join that. Okay, and Kim. Hey, Kim, thanks for watching. And Andrea from Michigan. Good to see you on here, guys. And Claudia. All right. Good to see you tonight, Claudia. All right, so I'm just letting that glue dry. For some reason, it kind of takes a minute. And you're just going to go on the back side and the front side, just right here down the middle. It really doesn't matter what it looks like because you're going to be covering it anyway. So don't worry about the glue being kind of clumped on there. As long as you get it to stay real well, that's the most important thing. Now, Claudia, I'm doing a little version of this heart, this lace heart. Okay, I'm doing a mini version of this because I only had 2 of these candy canes, and when I went back to get more, they were gone. But they are actually, these big, tall candy canes are actually the same width around as these little tiny ones. They're just longer. All right, guys, just adding this glue. This process is kind of annoying, I know. And usually I would have one already, but I really wanted to show you how to get that glue on there and how it doesn't matter if it's clumped up on there. See how it's kind of clumped up on there? None of that matters because it's going to be covered up. And you can kind of squish it down. But you want to get that where the 2 candy canes meet together. You want to get in that crack, and then you want the glue to smear over to each candy cane on the side of it so that it holds it really well, okay? Oh, goodness. We're just letting this dry. Still not dry all the way. Sorry, I have to have cough drops because I'm still having a little bit of a cough and scratchy throat. Okay. All right, so that's pretty sturdy on there. Now, I used jute to wrap my my candy canes on that heart. You could use anything you want. You can use string, you can use yarn, colored yarn if you want a certain color. I like the natural colors. You know, if you followed me for very long that I'm all about the natural colors and all that. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue here. Hey Cindy, thanks for joining. Okay, now it's kind of hard to go in circles with this jute when you have this big ball here. So I'm just going to cut a piece of that off, a long piece. That may actually be too long, because you can just keep gluing and adding to it. So I've got that glued down right there, and then I'm just going to start wrapping. Now you don't have to glue every time you wrap it around, but every so often you do want to tack it down with a little bead of glue, just so that the jute stays close together and you don't see it doesn't slide apart, and you don't see the red and white stripes underneath it. Okay, so now I'm just going to put a little dab of glue there. Okay, has anybody been working on their Valentine's decorations? Have any of you done a little Valentine's tree or a wreath or anything like that? If you have, let me know in the comments. And again, if you do this, for you that are just joining, if I say that word, then Facebook doesn't show my video. So if you will sprinkle the love, share the love, spread the love. Oops, I said the word. Then I'll put your name in. Make sure you let me know if you did that so that I can put your name in the drawing. I'm going to do a fun drawing when we reach 1,000 followers, which we are super duper close. I think we're like 970 something. So we're really, really close. And that's really fun to watch the audience grow, since I've just been doing this for what, a month and a half or so. It's been really fun and I've gotten to know new people. That's what I love doing. People from all over that I never ever would have met. And I'm getting to know you guys through Facebook. It's been fun. You send messages, you share your pictures. Yeah, it's been really fun. Okay, so we are just continuing to wrap. This is the most time-consuming part of it, but I'm just going to wrap it up. Okay. I have had a lot of fun this year decorating for Valentine's Day. I normally don't decorate my home, just my table for breakfast and dinner. But since I've been doing these little lives for all you, I decided, well, I'm just going to jump in it and do it in my home too. And I've had so much fun. I will definitely continue to decorate for Valentine's Day from now on. I have my 2 little trees up, and then some of these fun things that we've been making. And I did them in neutral colors so that it will match the decor in my home. I've added a really, really light pink to my decor, which looks good with the whites and the creams and stuff that I already have in my home. I don't really do a lot of red, but I think red looks super cute in other people's homes. It's just, for some reason, I don't know. I just like the calmer colors. Okay, see how we're just wrapping. Okay. And if you watched 2 nights ago, we made some Valentine love sacks, love bags, whatever you want to call them. I don't have an official name for them, but basically they're just like a Christmas stocking, but they're heart-shaped, and you can put goodies in it for your children or your grandchildren or your husband or your wife or whatever. Okay. Sorry guys, I know this is kind of time consuming here. All right. Now on this one, I won't be adding the succulents because it's too small, but these are the succulents that I got. You can get these at Walmart, and I think they're like $2.98 or something a piece, and it just comes like this. You just buy the succulents. But I got these at the Dollar Tree, and they came in this little pot, and I got them for $1. So I got them actually a couple years ago, I think, or last year or something, and now I used a few of them in that heart. Okay, guys. All right, let's get some more of the jute here. Okay. Now, I ran into a friend at Walmart today, and she asked if I would be doing things for St. Patrick's Day. And yes, I will. That's another holiday, kind of like Valentine's, that I would do stuff for the kitchen table for breakfast and dinner, but I didn't really. I would do something like, you know, leave gold coins or something out from the leprechaun or something like that. But I'm going to come up with some cute things for St. Patrick's Day. So if there's anything that you are interested in seeing for St. Patrick's Day, let me know in the comments, and I will try to work those ideas in, because there's not a whole lot to do for St. Patrick's Day. A couple of signs and maybe some wreaths or something. But, you know, honestly, I think even something like this would be super cute if it wasn't a heart for St. Patrick's Day, because it's got the greens in it. And then you could take some of the wood, like the wood hearts that I've been using. You could take some of the wood, the little ones. Well, they're almost the size of this. But the Dollar Tree always has little wooden shamrocks, and that would be super cute, tucked in a wreath with green succulents. Those are the kind of things that I like to do in my DIYs. I like to do more of a high-end look. Just because you get something at the Dollar Tree does not mean that it has to look cheap. I think all the projects that I do, I really try to make sure they look high-end, because I really like nice things in my home. And I don't like to spend a lot of money. Sometimes, you know, if there's something special, I don't feel so guilty if I buy something. But I think my taste is a little bit more than my pocketbook right now in life. So I like to make it look high-end, but not have to spend a lot of money. And I take pride in that. Like, I think that's a gift that people have, and I love it. I think it's really fun, and I love to see when other people do the same thing. I've had people that I know say, oh yeah, I don't shop at the Dollar Tree. Everything's so cheap there. You know, you can really find some really good things, and you know, just like any store, there's some things that are cheaply made, and you just stay away from those things. And when you are able to watch other crafters, whether it's ReThink Fabulous or someone else, you get an idea of what things work and what things, you know, don't, what things are kind of cheap looking and what things can turn into something really fabulous. So I hope that you all enjoy the DIYs that I do. I enjoy them in my home. So, and you know, crafting is just about having fun, letting your creative side go. And sometimes when you make mistakes, they turn out to be some of the best projects that I've made anyway. I've thought something was a real mistake and just finished it out, and it turned out to be one of my favorite things. So don't be afraid to try new things. And that's the cool thing too, is because these supplies aren't super expensive, if you mess up, it's not a big loss. It still is a loss, you know, as far as like the money that you spent, but it's not a huge loss. So, okay, we're almost done, guys. Thanks for being patient and hanging on with me. All right. So I just started a new piece and glued it right there where the other piece ended. And once you get this wrapped on here, it really makes it sturdy. So this one here is super sturdy. And I actually used a bigger jute on that one. I think it was more like a nautical rope size. Actually, it was nautical rope, and I separated. There's 3 strands that are twisted together on the nautical rope, and I untwisted them and used one of the strands. So it's actually thicker than this. Okay. So once you get that wrapped, it is super sturdy. It's not going to come undone on you. It's not going to come unglued. I mean, it could, but it's not going to go anywhere because you've got this jute wrapped on it. Okay, there you go, guys. Now this is just the knots of the rope, and if it's sticking out, just put some glue on it. Push it down. There we go. Okay. All right, now here comes the fun part of decorating. I'm going to use the same lace that I did here, just a different part of this was like an old little jacket or something of my daughter's that we don't wear anymore. So I'm actually going to use this part of the lace for this little one. I like that design right there. So I'm going to lay it down. So you just lay your fabric down straight on the table. Take your heart and place it on the lace where you think you like the design. Okay. And then you're going to take your glue and just go right along the back of your heart. And with the bigger heart, you will probably have to go in sections, and then you're just going to lay it right smack down on your fabric and just pull your fabric to the side to make sure that that it's tight. You know, it's kind of like when you put your fabric in an embroidery hoop. You want the fabric to be nice and tight. Hey, Glenna, thanks for watching tonight. So you want that fabric underneath to be nice and tight. Okay, I'm just going to hold on to this for just a minute to make sure the glue is all dry. Okay, so see how I just stuck that on the fabric just like that. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm just going to start cutting around my fabric. And I'm just going to leave kind of a little bit off to the side. We'll trim it all up here in just a minute. Now, I love to look at thrift stores. Like I said, old shirts, old lacy shirts. My daughter's not into the whole lace thing anymore, so we raided her closet and got sweaters and shirts and all sorts of things that don't fit her anymore. And that's what we've been using for some of these products, or for these DIYs. But you can go to thrift stores and get sweaters and lace, tablecloths at yard sales. Then you get a whole bunch of material for super cheap. Okay, So once we cut around that lace, see how we have some of it sticking out here on the edge? You're just going to kind of go around and make sure through the back that it's all tacked down. Let's see here. Okay. Make sure the lace is tacked down all the way around. And just push it down nice and tight onto your heart form to make sure that that fabric, whatever fabric you're using, gets pressed into that rope. That way it stays really good, okay? There's a few places here where the glue didn't stick, so I'm just going around the edges and making sure it's all stuck down. Okay, now once you do that, then you're going to take your scissors and you're just going to finish trimming out all of this fabric or lace that you put on the back so that you can't see it from the front. Super easy. Okay. All right. Just make sure you get nice and close as you can to the back so you don't see any of the fabric from the front. And all right, we are done with that part. So see, I trimmed all the fabric on the other side, and now you can't see the lace sticking out of the edges. So now you've got that beautiful lace backing. Now at this time you can start decorating. You can do anything you want with this, guys. You can have succulents. If you're doing a big one like this, you could actually put something across here and have the succulents coming out of that. You can do it like I did up the side. You could do something here in the middle and kind of go up and around these little, you don't want to do too much here, so you don't want to cover the humps, or otherwise you won't be able to see that it's a heart. So I'm going to do this on a smaller scale, like I said, because I can't put succulents necessarily on this because these are too big for this little heart. So I'm just going to use some other things. Now this is a coffee filter little rosette. I don't know if you can see that. So you can just cut a coffee filter and into a small piece and then trim it down and make some little flowers to stick on here like this. Here is tan coffee filters. I love these. So I'll show you how we did that. I just folded it in half. Folded it again, and then just started scrunching it up, twisting here a little bit, cut it off, open these little petals up, kind of scrunch it in there. So see, now I have a little brown rosette. I have a little white one and a little, and let's see. Thought I had some greens in here, but doesn't look like I do. Okay, so because I still would like some green on my heart, I'm going to add some of this reindeer moss. So even though I can't add the succulents, I am going to add some reindeer moss to this, just to kind of give it that look. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some glue here. And then I'm just going to press that reindeer moss right on there. Okay, I'm going to push real good so that it stays on there. I really like the mossy look. Add some more. Sometimes you need to cut this reindeer moss up a little bit and then just stick it on after you've cut it a little bit. So, okay. So that kind of gives me some green on there and a little bit of a foundation to stick my flowers on and my ribbon. Okay. All right, now I'm just going to start using my imagination, adding whatever I think would look cute. I think I am going to add some of these little flowers, these coffee filter flowers. I just cut the end there. Going to add some glue and just stick that right in that moss. See, I didn't wire that little flower or anything. I just cut the end of it. I'll show you on the next one, and glued it in there. Okay, now I'm just kind of figuring this out as I'm going. So, oh, here it is. Here's the little brown one, okay? I'm just gonna scrunch it up to whatever size I want it. And then I'm gonna cut it with my scissors. See how I just cut the end of it, and then I'm gonna put my glue right there. All on that bottom, and then I'm gonna add that, just stick it right on there. I'm gonna let the glue set really well. Hey Patsy, thanks for joining tonight. I love seeing my high school friends from Michigan on here. Don't get to talk to them, just see them on Facebook. So, love seeing you guys on here. Thank you so much for your support. Okay, so it's on there. I'm just kind of playing with it to kind of make the petals come out a little bit. Now at this point, I'm just going to keep adding. I can add more greens. I'm going to add some of these little pearls on here, just to kind of give it a little bit of a dainty look. I just kind of added a little pearl in there. I've got this cute cream ribbon that has little cursive writing on it that says, oh, I don't know, it says something about love and all that kind of stuff. So I think I'm going to just do a little loopy bow here. Just going to go around just a couple of times, maybe 3 times for this little bow. Okay. And then I'm going to use one of my chenille stems here. I have my big loop here. Those are my tails. I'm going to cut that and just take it right here in the middle. Wrap that chenille stem around the middle just like this. And, sorry, it's so hard to turn my hand around for y'all. Okay, and I'm going to pull real tight and twist. Okay. So now this isn't a wired ribbon, so it's just giving me a little loopy bow here. You can make any kind of bow that you want with this. You can do a little messy bow with all the little extra pieces of ribbon that you have left over. Just scrunch them up together, tie it in the center. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just glue that on there. And the thing is if you put it somewhere and you decide you don't like it, just rip it off. Stick some moss over the top of it, or a piece of greenery or something. It's just hot glue. It's not gonna be a big deal if you just change your mind and decide you don't like it. Okay, so I stuck that right there at the top. Okay, and I'm gonna just, let's see, play with the ribbon a little bit and position it how I like. I'm going to glue this little piece over here. I don't know if you can see that. And kind of cut it at an angle. I'm not going to dovetail it just because it's a little ribbon, but I'm going to cut it at a little angle. And I take this tail and kind of glue it on the pearl there so that it kind of sticks out. And I'm going to add some more of this reindeer moss up here above the bow so we can see some more of that green. Now you could use little pieces of lamb's ear or boxwood greens, anything like that. I just really like the moss for this just because it's a smaller wreath and I don't want to cover up the shape of the heart. And sometimes with those bigger greens, it'll just cover up. So I'm just putting some more moss up at the top. And I think I will add another pearl bead here, right there in the middle of that bow. And then maybe one of these little wooden beads as well, next to the pearl. I like the contrast of the fancy pearl with the wooden bead. I have a light wood bead and then I have kind of a darker one. So I did 3 of them there. Just right there, kind of makes it look like little berries or something. Okay, so at this time you could add colors if you want. Here's like a little pink flower. You could add pink where I've got pink and stuff going. I could do that. I'm not going to add pink to mine. I think I'm going to add one more. Let's see. I might make a little flower out of some lace here. Let me see what this would look like. I had a little lace flower here and I'm not sure where it went. Okay, so I have a little piece of lace here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it and I'm going to bunch it up, gather it, I guess you want to call it, and glue the little gathered piece. So see where I gathered it right there? I'm just going to glue that. Now I'm going to scrunch this up again and glue it. And you're just going to kind of go in a circle. So there, I scrunch that up. I'm just making like a little flower type of thing with this piece of lace. So I'm just going to take it just like this and scrunch it. And we're just kind of gathering it. Like if you were sewing, you would just keep doing this and gathering it and gluing as you go, okay? So you could continue to do that in a circle and make kind of like a little flower, or you can continue to gather it. I'm just going to do like a half moon type shape and not go all the way around because I'm going to have these little lace petals basically peeking out from under this coffee filter flower so that it looks like a whole flower. See how those look like little petals because of the lace? The scalloped lace, when you gather it, just makes it look like a little flower. Okay, so it's just all glued and gathered right there in the middle. And then I'm just going to tuck it under. See this? I'm just going to tuck it under this coffee filter flower real quick so that you don't see that side that's not finished. You just see the little petals that are sticking out. So there we go. See that little lace flower that is poking out there, okay? And then, and you can just adjust it how you like it if you don't like it in that place. Just gonna make sure it's glued down, and I'm gonna add a little bit more green. So you just got this moss kind of poking out at different places, and I like that, but I want it to show just a little bit more. So I'm just gonna add a little bit more moss. Looks like my husband is joining us tonight. Hey, Casey, thanks for watching. He works out of town a lot, so kind of how we get to see each other for a bit. Okay, so I'm going to just kind of add some more green moss here to the sides so that you can see it poking out of the edges. And just going to keep adding to the edges here. Okay, just pressing that, making sure the moss is nice and pressed down into your form of whatever, you know, your wreath or whatever you're doing. And then afterwards, that's kind of all dangling. We're just going to take our scissors and trim it back a little so that you don't have all those little pieces hanging down. Okay, and I'm going to add just a little bit more of the moss right here in the corner. Okay. Alrighty. Now, what would you use these little hearts on? Let me give you some ideas. You could just use them by themselves, hang them up. I think a really cute idea would be take an old picture frame, take out the picture, put a cute, maybe even a doily in the background, or just a plain piece of paper, colored piece of paper, whatever. And then you could add this to the middle of it, take out the glass and just have it framed. You could do a big wreath. Remember our paper doily wreaths and also the coffee filter wreaths? You could add this into it as part of the decoration. You could string a ribbon to this, a little loop, and put these on your Valentine's trees. You could put one of these on your Valentine love bag that we made the other night. You could put some ribbon, do another one of these in a different way, add some ribbon and just hang them like in threes or something. Put them on a wooden sign. Here's a cute little wooden sign that the Dollar Tree has. It says, "Love each moment." Okay. Now, if you didn't like this red heart on there, you could paint over that. Paint it white like I did the other sign and add something like this to the center. Okay, here's the back side of it. So you could paint it white, or even if you just like the brown color. For this particular side, on this side it has the lines, so it looks kind of like shiplap, but the back side doesn't. So you could actually just take a ruler and make some lines across there, paint it, and add your little heart so it looks like it's on a shiplap sign. Okay, there's tons of ideas that you could use these little hearts. You could use these as a table decoration on your table for Valentine's. So anyway, this is how I did this big one. Of course, with the big one, I added the succulents, and I also added a lot of different mixture of greens. I added this cute little rag lace hanging down. I've got lace and cotton and all sorts of just strips of leftover stuff. And then I did a messy bow with all these different colors of ribbon, laces. So you could really do it however you want. I just kind of had to add my greens in with the moss since this is a smaller version. And I didn't really have a lot of room to do a huge bow, so I did this little bow. Okay. And of course, we didn't have room for the succulents, so we added some little coffee filter rosebuds there and some beads. All right. So that, my friends, is how you make the candy cane wreath. I think that they are super cute. I love how it turns out. there we go. Okay, well that is not going to stay, so I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so make sure, guys, thank you so much for joining tonight. Make sure that you do this, what the sign says, because I can't say the word on Facebook. Make sure you do that, and your name will be entered. Put in the comments that you did that, and your name will be entered into this bucket with all of these other names. And here, and probably maybe even tomorrow, we'll do a drawing as soon as we get to 900 followers, which we are, or sorry, 1,000 followers, which we are almost there. We will do a drawing, okay? Hey, Dana, thanks for joining tonight. So Dana, we are making a smaller version of this candy cane heart. So we just did a smaller version of it. So that's what we did tonight. And tomorrow we will, I think I'm going to be on tomorrow. We will be doing some little Valentine mailboxes. They have them at the Dollar Tree. There's metal ones, and there is paper mache ones, okay? But they're covered in like bright colors or whatever. We are going to transform those into more of a simpler version of some cute little mailboxes that you can put little love notes to your kids or to your spouse in. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, we do Elf on the Shelf at Christmas. Well, we're going to do Cupid, and he's going to leave little love notes and little treats in my mailbox for the 14 days from the 1st to the 14th until Valentine's Day, okay? And then on Valentine's, they will be able to get in their love bags and get all their treats out, just kind of like Christmas. So anyway, thanks so much for joining. I hope that you guys liked this DIY. If you try it, please take pictures and send them to me, or post them to the ReThink Fabulous Crafters page and show your creations with everyone. I would love for that to happen. So thanks so much, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks.